What NSFW thing happened at your sleepover? When I was younger, I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. My friend's mother was sitting on the toilet door wide open. Love her to death, but she was basically built like the crypt keeper who smoked 2 packs of Virginia Slims a day. I've had that image seared into my brain for years. Friend of mine came up to my room all stone-faced. Your mom is taking a bath with the door open. I walked in while she was bent over the tub. This was 1990 or so, and my mother was a single mom. Needless to say, it was still the 1970s down there, or so I hear. Nothing too extreme like most these comments might be, but when I was in 4th grade my best friend and I were playing this game where insults were compliments and vice versa, well after some back and forth between us I said, "Yeah. Well, you have a big dick." As soon as his dad opened the door. I stumbled on my words trying to explain the situation and my friend couldn't stop laughing. His dad looked at me and his son in disappointment and shut the door. Talk about bad timing. A friend had a sleepover she invited me to for her birthday one year. We were in middle school, and she was the only girl I knew. I didn't know any of her other friends. One of them suggests a game of truth or dare. They started daring each other to do sexual things. It started with making out and progressed to dares to perform oral sex on the other girls. If you refused to participate, they got to punch you in the arm as hard as they could. I was a very good girl. I didn't participate in anything, performing or receiving. My mom asked me where the fuck I had gotten bruises all over my body. I told her we'd been jumping on the bed and I kept getting accidentally kicked. Yeah, the worst dare my friends and I thought up at 11 to 12 was having to run up to the kitchen and scream, "Puberty is making my boobs grow." Then run back to the basement amid a choir of deafening giggles. After about the 5th girl the mom shouted down, "Grow your boobs quietly." Good times. 6-ish, 7-ish. Sleepover at a friend's house. His dad apparently went to the bar and picked up some hood rats while we were supposed to be asleep. We hear Al Green and smell smoke. Look out, his dad's going to town on this one chick while another is sitting there topless calmly rolling joints on an album cover. Distant cousins would visit us when I was younger. Female cousin and I were at that age where we weren't exactly sure what was going on with our bodies. We slept together thinking nothing of it, but being the horny kid that I spooned her with my pre-teen boner rubbing up on her butt. She wiggled back and we pretty much dry humped. Only happened once and never mentioned at all. We were probably around 10 to 11. My best childhood friend and I were left home alone to our own devices for a while at his house while our parents got piled at my house. We were next door neighbors and our families were close. We were dicking around in his older, sexy, high school age sister's room when my friend pulled a tampon out of her drawer and started to wave it around. I said something like, "Yo, how do those things even work, dog, for real?" Really into Eminem, when my friend decides to show me and shoves said tampon up his ass. He pulled it out slowly and we both realized with horror that it was, in fact, covered with shit. He did the sensible thing and threw it at the wall while we both screamed like school girls and were too grossed out to clean it up. Our dads still tell this story to our new girlfriends just to warn him that we might be gay. Slept over at my friend's place while in 8th grade. His sister was a year older and was always flirting with me. Well, it is late one night and she is watching a movie on the floor while I sleep above her on the couch. I wake up to feeling my hand being guided underneath some clothing. Turns out this is my first boob action I ever had. We kept this going on throughout our high school years. She used to give me rides home from school and I would fondle her the whole way home. Things escalated as we got older. I still miss those days. My friend had a bunch of friends over for his birthday. His parents left us alone for the most part. Anyhow, we were wrestling in the basement when his older sister came down to see what's going on. She was a year older than him and she hung out with us for a while. However, another friend accidentally ruined the birthday cake before it was brought out, so the mother went with my friend to pick out a new cake. They left his sister in charge of the house. Anyhow, while they were gone, this guy convinced her to give him a blowjob and all of a sudden everyone wanted one. She went around giving 6 guys blowjobs when her mother walked into the basement and started screaming at her in Hindi when she saw what her daughter was doing. We were all sent home and never allowed back. When I was in 2nd grade, my really good friend had a sleepover for his birthday and invited around 10 kids from school. His parents had got him an Xbox for his birthday, with Halo 2 and 4 controllers, so all of us freaked out and played it in his room all night. Well, as things usually go with second graders, Halo got super intense, and when someone would ask to pause the game to go to the bathroom, we would unpause it and kill them a few times before they got back. Well, there was this one kid named Josh who was really good at the game, and would beat all of us almost all the time. So at some point in the night, Josh tells us he has to go to the bathroom. We all snicker because we know that we're gonna fuck his shit up when he leaves. But he doesn't go to the bathroom. So we keep playing. We play for a while longer and Josh has a pained look on his face, so we tell him that he can go to the bathroom and we will all put our controllers down. He refuses again. After a couple minutes, we hear a loud farting noise, and immediately after, shit just starts falling out of Josh's pants all over the floor. We all start freaking out and Josh, who hasn't stopped playing, takes this as a sign that he should poop even more. Hearing a commotion, my friend's dad comes in, pauses for a second to take in the picture of Josh unleashing the Kraken all over his son's room, and just walks away. When I was in middle school, one of my friends had her party at a hotel and we were supposed to stay overnight there, chaperoned by her mom, of course, or none of us would have been able to go. However, once we got there, her mom had checked in and took off, leaving us to our own devices. One of the girls had brought glow-in-the-dark body paint and they all decided to strip naked and paint themselves, while drinking some beer that the mom had supplied us with. We were only 13. Some tame lesbian activity occurs. Then, they decided that it would be a good idea to go to the hotel pool, which was officially closed at the time, and skinny dip. Me and one other girl were the only ones who refused to participate. I was pretty sheltered as a kid, so all of this was really shocking to me. The hotel manager ended up kicking us out of the pool area, but surprisingly, we just got to go back to our rooms, unattended. Her mom must have known the owner or something. If my mom would have known what was going on at that party. I just told her I had a good time and left it at that. I stayed at a friend's house, his sister also had a friend stay over. She woke me up and wanted to talk to me and wanted to give me a blow job, took me to the couch and went at it, pulled her titties out and used them, went to the freezer, got her ice cube and crushed it in her mouth and started sucking again. Then there was an awkwardness and she stopped and looked over and my friend's dad was watching. He mumbled something and went to his room and we went to the basement to finish. At my birthday sleepover in 6th grade or so, one kid, Cody, woke up in the middle of the night to discover that another kid, Max, had managed to pull his pants down in his sleep and his dick was hanging out. So Cody took his Game Boy Advance SP, the kind that folded shut, and closed it on Max's penis. I awoke in the morning to find the rest of the kids discussing the event. I was never quite sure what to make of that. The first time I slept over at a girl's house I was in 6th grade, and it was the group from an extracurricular activity. It was her birthday, the parents thought it'd be innocent, but we were old enough to be little shits. We spent most of the night contriving a make-out scheme on the girls. One of them expressed interest in that stupid game where you press on someone's chest until they pass out. We didn't press very hard, nobody passed out, but everyone pretty much touched all the boobs. The birthday girl puked, but being a kid, rallied immediately. We played some version of hide and seek in the dark, but instead I made out with one of the girls under a pool table. Camped out the back for my friend's 14th birthday with a few of my mates. Birthday boy suddenly got uncontrollable diarrhea, house was locked, we all managed to catch him shitting himself while desperately trying to get into the house. Good times. I was riding the bus to school with a gay friend and asked him how and when he knew he was gay. Since he'd never done anything sexual, that I knew of, with anyone, I was curious how he was so sure. Kind of stupid these days, but this was a while ago and I was young and dumb. We were both 15, 16, something like that. This was over 20 years ago now. He told me, well, the last time I had a sleepover, after everybody went to sleep, I took out Robbie's penis and kind of played with it and put in my mouth and stuff. And you liked it? I guess, yeah, I mean he stayed soft, but it was really fun to play with. Penises are awesome. That's fucked up, man. You shouldn't do that to people. You totally raped Robbie. No. No. He was asleep. He doesn't know I did it, so it doesn't count. It still counts. You can't fucking fuck someone who's sleeping and just say it's okay. I didn't fuck him. He barely got hard. It was mostly just soft and squishy and you know, I flipped it around, it was fun. That doesn't make it okay. You having fun doesn't stop it from being fucked up. Well, it wasn't just him. I tried everybody out. I wanted to see different ones. Sam got hard. Oh my god. How many guys were there? 4. But I didn't do anything to Eric. But, you like Eric. He had a major crush on him. Exactly. Dude, you raped 3 guys but left the one you're actually attracted to alone. I didn't rape them. I just, played with them. And put them in your mouth. That doesn't count. This conversation continued for the entire bus ride to school. I know he didn't mean anything bad by any of it, but it's still pretty fucking fucked up. Strip poker at a cast and crew party for a middle school production of The Secret Garden. That was the first time I saw boobies out in the open. Glorious. The nudity lasted maybe all of 15 minutes, but 40 years later I can still see every second of it in my mind. We all paid hell for it in school and with our parents over the next couple of weeks, but the detention and grounding were well worth it at 10 times the price. When I was 16, I was at a sleepover with 2 other girls at one of their houses. When they thought I was sleeping, they started making out, and then eating each other out, and I kept my eyes closed and never told anyone, and then I acted surprised when one of the girls came out as gay a month later. Not so much a sleepover as a party that ended and we all kind of just crashed where we were. Anyhow, I had just graduated high school and was about to leave for Marine Corps boot camp in a week. I wanted to get laid before I left, of course. There was this girl that was going into senior year that kind of liked me for a while. We found this little room with a couch in the basement and get to talking. Things progressed pretty quickly and I had some of the best sex I have ever had in my life that night, 3 times. Well, each time I did not have any condoms, so I would pull out and come in her socks. Her idea, after all was said and done, I took her home in the morning and then proceeded to tell my friends what I had done. The poor girl became known as Socko for her senior year. Female cousin and I decided to streak nude around the house in the middle of the night. I remember being cold as fuck because her parents turned down the heat at night. We were young at the time. Old enough to know it was sexual, young enough to be clueless on what to do with my raging harden. Was sleeping over at a friend's house and was having trouble sleeping. So probably about an hour after he fell asleep and me tossing and turning, I got up to use the bathroom. When I walked past his parents' room, I clearly saw his parents having sex. His mom was actually pretty attractive, so I stood there watching for a solid minute. I've never looked at her the same way since. My campfire group would regularly swim topless in our leader's backyard pool. We were like 11 to 12 and just starting to develop. Our leader lived just off campus of a major Midwest university. Looking back, we were pedo bait, completely unintentionally. We were just embracing our emerging tits, and very lucky nothing ever happened to one of us, especially considering these sleepovers often involved sneaking out in the middle of the night. I used to play baseball when I was younger. A few of us guys, around 6 of us, were pretty tight. We went over to our friend's house for his birthday when we were like 13. No parents, just us. We are all straight, but like half of them got butt naked and started to throw their clothes in the freezer. They then started comparing dick sizes and I'm sitting here with another guy thinking, what the actual fuck is happening? Things were weird, yeah, but it started getting really out of hand when the naked few started coming after us clothed people and trying to rip our clothes off. So there we all were, 6 friends on the same baseball team butt naked playing Free Bird on Rock Band. I've never brought it up to the few I still talk to, but maybe I should for a good laugh, haha.